Stop number 4. 120 boats are going to battle Pomme De Terre Lake. Tournament presented by Skirmish Baits. Custom painted hard baits with amazing detail and colors that are not only meant to catch your eye, but much more importantly, the eye of a hungry bass. Motion Fishing Company, the official jig of the Solo Pro Series. Motion Fishing strives to deliver high-quality fishing tackle at an affordable price that excels in performance. New partners, Digital Ally and Shield Cleansers. Digital Ally provides technology for law enforcement and commercial fleet vehicles. And Shield Cleansers provides disinfectant and first aid solutions. And Best Automotive, a complete automotive service and repair facility, family owned and operated since 1996. Stay tuned and enjoy the action.
Got them in the live real quick.
Nabbed it. I'm gonna fish shallow. Flip a jig everywhere I can. Lake's dropping a little bit, so
It is dropping.
The edge of the bushes, logs, lay downs.
Seen any spawning fish or?
A few. I didn't really look for them that much. I can tell by the way they're biting. Some of them don't want to move out of where they are. Probably a good way if the fish still getting ready to spawn.
They around the bushes, obviously. What's all this green stuff?
It's just hard to get quality right now. Seems to be a lot of 2-pounders.
You think the females moved off?
All the fish seem really healthy, so I think most of them on this lake are getting ready to do it.
Oh, you think they're about ready to spawn?
I didn't get to practice the last couple of days, but I fished Wednesday, and water temperature up the river was still 57, 58 degrees. Towards the dam was 63. Right here this morning it's 62 and a half, so it's still pretty cool for the middle of May.
What boat number you, Cody?
55.
55?
Yeah.
You doing any good?
Fished Joe Bass yesterday, had just under 12 pounds by myself, so I get one more good bite like that today. Put another 3-pounder in the boat, I think I'll be right there. So.
The tough fishing, or?
It's been tough. A lot of little ones.
All right, Cody, good luck, man.
Thank you.
Well, what are you gonna do today?
Throw something big and ugly.
Good gosh.
Fish for 5 bites.
Are they spawning, or?
Nah, they're done.
You think they're done?
Yeah, I mean, I don't claim to be the know-it-all. These fish are gonna spawn every year, and they move up. I think that the spawn is over, is like it always would be. It got warm and get cold, and they get warm and get cold again. And on them cold fronts, them fish, they trickled in. They didn't just all move in where everybody saw them on the bank. That's what I think. There's always some fish that don't spawn, and there's probably some that won't. But I think it's over. We're in May now. You got shad spawning going on. So.
What kind of bait is that?
That's one of those KGBs.
Now, do you throw that around the bushes? Can you get closer, can you?
Just throw it. You throw it all day and pray for a couple bites on it.
Is it real slow fishing?
Tournament conditions provided by O'Reilly Auto Parts and Boatworks. Thanks for giving gift cards throughout the season. Water temperatures hovering around the 60-degree marks, making bass in spawning stages and some post-spawn. Mornings a little chilly in the 50s, and afternoon getting an 85 with light wind.
The Angry Pirate. We're at stop number 4, Solo Pro. We're going to make a run up the Lindley and flip some deep bushes. See what happens. We got one Truman last year.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's a good fish.
Bad when you come to a place like that right there and don't catch up there. That's a premium little spot right there. All them big shad right there. They seem to be spawning right here on this side. They look like they dropped that water more even yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 13 and a half. Giant. A giant. But ain't that funny, that fish?
Here we go. This is the other money bait. I mean, it was money earlier this week. Money.
Yeah, brush hog?
The little Christie critter on a wobblehead, 5/16 ounce. Just dragging it across little secondary points and, you know, some of these bluffier banks where it points up. It's just, I think it's a timing deal because I spent a lot of time in the mornings of practice just throwing top waters. I never drug, you know, anything until about 12 o'clock.
Right.
And that's when mayhem started breaking loose. So I'm just gonna say it's a timing thing. Write it off that way.
Do you do a lot of practicing for tournaments?
I usually practice the Thursday, go Thursday, Friday, light day Saturday. I don't like to practice on Saturday. Leave my tackle. Maybe go for a ride, just look at the graph. Messes me up. I feel like any fish you catch on Saturday, you ain't gonna catch on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Nabbed it. Now for the hard one.
There you go.
Something's changed. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna have to experiment a little bit. Come on, be 13. Close. 13 and a half. Number 2.
You have 2 fish now. 3 more.
Big fish will hit it and they'll go to the deep. The little ones, they'll peck, or they'll pick it up.
I just gotta swim with it.
Yeah. Them big ones, when they get on there, they're on there. Any bait's that way, really. Jigs that way for sure. You feel a peck on a jig, it ain't the right fish.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've never fished that spot before, but it's just what I'm looking for. Little old Kentucky. Number 3.
Good. That's a good one. Yeah. Get in here. I'll take my personal victories right now. I'll be honest. Just getting a bite makes me happy. You know? Getting a bite makes me happy right now. And they ain't giants, but they go a long way when you're just trying to make it somewhere. Slow and steady wins this race.
Number 3. Go deeper. That's 13, ain't it? Three's the hard one for me.
I keep thinking every time one of them ones bites its way out, that could be the one. There he is. There he is. There he is. better one. Little chunkier, huh? See what we got to do now.
But it's doing the world.
Lost it.
What did I tell you? It ought to happen right there, and there it happened. Well, that's 5. Now we gotta catch a big one. We gotta catch a big one.
That's it. Now we're gonna dye these tails chartreuse. See if we can spill a little bit of juice in the boat. My setup, I use a little bitty hook. A lot of guys use big hooks. I feel I do better with a little hook. We shall see. The old dye. The old let's dye everything but what we're trying to dye. Your boat ain't bona fide till you spill this shit. Oh, got it on the console. Yes. Chartreuse colored boat. Might be onto something. Gosh almighty, why? Do you ever have these problems?
Yeah.
Everything's wrapped up. Nothing's just being nice.
Yeah.
rid of that little yellow one. But again, no bite. You know, that luckily I just happened to see that line kind of going off.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, they're just not aggressive.
Stop number 4, Pomme De Terre Lake weigh-in, provided by our product sponsors, giving away product to all anglers. Cal Coast Fishing Products, Bass Pro Shops, Motion Fishing Company, Mouse X, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Skirmish Baits, Favorite Fishing Rods, and Ulrich Marine.
Like I said, I only had the 4. I couldn't get the fifth one in the boat. Did you have a chance for it?
Yeah, I lost 3 of them right at the boat.
How's that?
Just come right off. They never get a hook in them.
Catch any on top water?
Yep.
Catch all of them on top water?
Nope. Just one. Ouch. That one there.
Around wood, bare bank.
On a bank, right on the edge of a point by a side of a tree. Man, I threw a Carolina rig and wacky rigged, and that was about it.
You think they're done spawning?
No, I caught one on a bed. I missed one. I mean, it was just a little one, like a 14-incher, but I missed him. Come back 10 minutes later, flicked up there, and he was up there guarding.
What was the reason for the slow day? The post front?
Yeah, I'd say post front, you know. Post front, just tough.
Did you figure something out late, or did you have to change up from your practice?
I didn't practice. Yeah, I spent yesterday on Lake of the Ozarks. And
Oh, that's right, you won.
yeah.
Well, recap of that one. That sounds like a better story.
Yeah, it's a heck of a lot better story.
Were they on beds at Lake of the Ozarks?
Yeah. Yeah, they were. Come on.
Do that again.
You flipped all day, just flip bushes?
Flip bushes and lay downs with a jig and a tube.
So that water coming out didn't hurt them at all, or did you think they just moved 2 feet out?
They were just right on the, well, it was a steeper bank. It seemed like it had to have rock on it, all except I hooked that great big fish, but then it was on mud. The rest of them all were on like rocky type stuff up there, but it had laid down some bushes on it.
Do you try more mud bank? You know, like if you see a big fish like that, do you try like other mud banks?
Oh yeah, for sure, I did, yeah.
Did it help? Or is that was a fluke?
I had a couple more bites on doing that, but I mean, for the most part, they was more on rock. I finished my limit off. It was on a bush on the mud. It was my fifth keeper, but I called about 3 times, and I had another fish on right before I come in that would have called, and like I say, come up and jumped and threw the jig back at me. And it was just one of them days. I lost more fish than I caught.
Now you think they're spawning?
I don't know what that big one up there was doing, but I mean the fish I caught, I don't think were spawning. So I lost about a 3.5 pounder. So I should have a whole lot more weight than what I got.
You throw like 1/2 ounce jig, 3/8?
I was throwing a 3/8 jig, and then I was throwing a big flipping tube, Southern Pro flipping tube, green with dipping it in chartreuse.
Now when you flip that tube, do you flip that on a jig head or just?
No, I Texas rig it with a 1/4 ounce black sinker, 5/0 hook.
Little dinks. I just couldn't get rid of them.
You said you were just flipping a Cinco around the bushes, huh?
Yeah, black and blue Cinco, 1/4 ounce weight.
Now, did you find that? Find that today, or?
Yeah, I just picked it up this morning. I don't know. I was flipping a beaver and a jig, and I had a couple bite it, but I just couldn't. I don't know. They just wouldn't hold on to it, so I switched to a little bit smaller bait. And
4.78. 4.78. That takes the lead. 2 lead changes in a row.
I lost several nights, like 3-pounders doing this. Like you just can't get them out of that stuff.
Now did you find some bushes that were pretty deep in the water, or?
That's a decent one.
10.28. 10.28. That's good enough for second place overall. First place big bass.
No, like that's what I'm saying. They'd all be maybe a foot of water. Every once in a while you come across one that was sitting out about 1.5 feet or so, just a little bit farther than the other ones. And that'd be the one you catch a fish on.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could only find so many of them. I mean, you'd fish 100 yards.
On flat banks, like your traditional spawning banks?
Yeah, I mean, my boat was sitting in probably 2-3 foot of water. And all day. I mean, everything's flat up there.
Big. 2.94.
Big guy.
2.94 big bass.
Yeah, I wish I would caught that.
Well, hold him up. You gotta get him.
Oh, he ain't as good as I thought he was. Got him in the lab real quick.
You don't need to shoot this today, man.
I can zoom in. You need me to zoom
I'm gonna
in?
have to hold them way out there.
Why was so tough? What's up?
I don't know. I just struggled. I caught 35 fish today, bro.
Shallow?
Yeah, mostly.
Did you see any spawning?
No. I looked quite a bit. Most of them were just all 12 inches. I caught some up. I come up Thursday and looked, and I caught some decent fish. But they all pretty much pulled out, I think.
You think because the cold front or the water?
I think the drop on the water. Because it's about 6 inches lower than it was Thursday. The bushes I was on were about high and dry. It's a dandy, isn't it? First tournament, dude. I just bought the boat last week. I just got the Raptors on Thursday.
Well, this is your first tournament?
Yeah.
With us?
First one out of the front of the boat. It's the first boat I had. Woo! Hey, settle down.
Well, so you was trying to catch some spawners today?
I started out trying to catch anything and then got back in looking for some spawners, and it actually didn't pick up till the afternoon. I had 2 bites. I had 2 fish till probably 1 o'clock. And then, yeah, they just turned on for me where I was at. And, oh yeah, I probably caught 15 fish in the last hour and a half.
Up shallow, back to creek.
Up shallow, I mean shallow. Far back as I could get.
Did you see them?
No, and a couple of them actually came out of like 6 inches of water. I'm surprised I didn't see them. Yeah, but I was sitting so far away, and yeah.
Yeah, 'cause a lot of guys think that they're done spawning. Then some guys say, oh no, they're spawning.
Yeah, I was wondering what it was going to be like. I was here 2 weeks ago, and the bite was on. I think I had probably 18.5 pounds with 5 fish. And so I was hoping the fish were going to hold out, but I knew they'd be moving, but it was a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be.
Well, they were dropping that water, and a lot of guys were saying because of that water dropping, they moved out.
Yeah. And that was basically how we were getting them, and then I just decided I hadn't got anything in the back yesterday or all morning, and I just went back to try and check it out, and there they were. Biggest one that I'm going to get out, she came on a Senko. This morning did a little bit of wacky worm fishing, and
And then when the sun got up and that wind started blowing, I went to flipping and called a couple times. So I wish we had another hour to fish because
Think it was getting better as the day went on?
yeah, I got onto something late. I just wish that could have had one more hour to fish. Would have been okay probably.
Throw any moving bait, spinner bait?
No, and that's what I like to do. I just couldn't get good doing that.
Yeah, you've been fishing crankbaits the last three months, so that's probably hard to put that down.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is. I like throwing crankbaits. This is not so much what I like to do, but you gotta do what they're biting on. So we got 5, probably weigh about 9 pounds.
Good job.
Chad Bliss, Pomme De Terre, first place.
Well, Chad, what'd you do? Everybody said they're spawning, not spawning?
They were shallow, let's put it that way. So I fished everything shallow. They were all in the buckbrush. I'd pitch a jig up there or a Cinco or some up there, and you just let it sit. And you either hit it right away or they wouldn't be there. You just pull it out, pitch it again, and boom, they just hit it.
But you have to move a lot?
Yeah. So I caught most everything on 2 different creek arms, and so I just rotate back and forth. Actually the 414 came on the very last cast. I put a chip in the GoPro and I said, all right, last cast wonders, let's see. And I threw it in there and boom, she hit it.
Now, do you think they were up there doing their thing and you just couldn't see them?
You know, none of them really, you can't see them. I mean, it's shallow and it's clear, but you really can't see them. It's almost like if it was like 12 foot of water to a shallow, and then you throw up there, they would come up with that deeper water right there. So if it was in a shallow bay or a flat, there's no fish in there. It had to be kind of like a channel bank swing. It had to be deep water coming up to that shallow. So I don't know if they just go up and feed a little bit and bounce back off, but no bloody tails, no nothing like that, unless they're fry garden. But 3 or 4 of those were pretty good size.
So were any of them, they were around like the wood and the brush?
They were all in that buck brush. I caught nothing out of 3 foot of water. Everything was 3 foot or less.
Wow, that's fun fishing.
Oh, it was a blast, yeah. It died off though, so like early morning I had 5 probably by 11, and then it was dead. And I'd catch a couple little small ones, like hold a couple, just barely, make an inch or 2, and then, like I said, the last one.
So it got worse for you in the afternoon.
Yeah, it got worse in the afternoon until the very last cast, because I was boat 50, so the first flight, so I had to be in at 320, and so at 304 I threw that last, pitched it in there, and boom, she hit it. So otherwise, I'd probably been in that 11, 12 pound range, and so that was 414, I think it was, 4 something. So it was a good call, because I dropped probably 1.5 pounds out of there to call her, and that put me right up there. So never quit. That last one, you got to do it.
Congratulations. Any plans for your money? What are you gonna do?
I don't know. Probably put some power poles or something on that thing. Who knows? It'll get spent. There'll be another jig I gotta have, another bait I gotta have. So no, it's a good time. So
good deal, man.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Stanley Green, got 2nd place here at Pomme De Terre in the Solo Pro Series.
Well, anything you do, some people say they're spawning, some people say they're done spawning, they're not spawning.
No, they're spawning. They're in the midst of it.
All right, did you catch them backs and creek? Your typical spawning?
Shallow sides of spawning pockets. They weren't in the very, very back. They dropped the lake and pulled those fish out. They were in the back. They were in the back Thursday and Friday. They pulled out a little bit. Some of the bushes that I've caught fish out of Thursday and Friday were almost out of the water.
Some guys say it was tough in the morning, but it picked up in the afternoon. Was that?
No, I caught fish about all day.
Stay pretty close, or do you like your river running?
No. I stayed in the clear water. Went as far as about 3 miles up to Pomme De Terre, about 3 miles up to Lindley.
You fish this lake much?
Quite a bit. Yep, quite a bit.
Now you like the Bolivar arm compared to the Lindley arm? Does you have a preference?
Not really. Not really. They're both pretty good.
Well, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
My name is Shannon Green. Fishing Pomme De Terre, got 3rd place. I had a really bad practice Saturday. It was terrible. I couldn't figure out what was going on, so I tried to do kind of the same thing I did in practice. Went back into the coves, started at the point, went back in the coves, and then later on, probably about 8:30, 9 o'clock, I went on the main lake. I didn't have a fish yet. 9:30, I started catching some fish. So pretty much the rest of the day I stayed out on the main lake and got my limit.
So they weren't back in the pot. They moved out, you think, because they pulled the water down?
Yeah, yes and no. I think some of the fish are moving up, but I also think that since a lot of the fish aren't spawned yet, I think they're still out on the main, getting ready to move up. There's going to be a full moon this coming weekend, so I think next weekend they will be spawning.
Any particular lures that you were using?
Spinnerbait and jig.
On main lake?
On main lake, bluffs.
Okay. Any particular color that you like? Traditional chartreuse.
White chartreuse, yeah, traditional, yeah. It's nothing special. It's a War Eagle, white chartreuse spinnerbait with a white blade and chartreuse blade, willow leaf. Eakins jig, 3/8 with a rage tail trailer. But that's about it.
Congratulations, man.
Thank